Hey guys, welcome back to Laced Up Podcast. Super excited because we got Max Tooley with us today. Big time BYU football star. He's been there for a couple of years. How long have you been there for?
Shoot, this is coming up on my 6th year. So
6 year?
I've been here almost 5 years in total. So
That's big time.
yeah.
What was your freshman year?
2018. So I got here summer 2018. Got home from my mission in the June of that year, and yeah, started since then. So
Heck yeah. So, tell us where you're from, what high school you went to, what mission you went on, and all that kind of leading up to BYU.
yeah, so I'm from Bountiful. I'm a local guy, just a little bit north of Salt Lake. Grew up in Bountiful, same house my whole life. Played for Bountiful in Little League. Went on to play high school at Bountiful. Had a good time there. Had some great coaches. Larry Walls, a legend in Utah. Just had a good time. I played safety and running back in high school. Honestly, I probably played more running back, more offense in high school than I did defense. It's different now to what I'm used to at BYU. I really liked running the ball. That was a good time for me.
That's fun.
Yeah, solid.
Were you how big were you in high school?
Shoot, I was probably as big as I played last season at, around 6'2",
Really?
205 to 210. Yeah, I was decent size in high school.
Heck yeah.
But a little chubbier, not as fast. So
Yeah.
yeah, but almost every defense we played against, they're like, "Why are you playing running back? You're the biggest running back we played against." But we had a fullback who was 6'3", 240, so I don't know what they were talking about. Houston Haymooley played for us the year before,
he did?
and he was the same size, 6'1", 6 foot, 220, 230
say,
pounds,
he's
just
thick.
a bowling ball. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
So, sorry, keep going.
No, yeah. So graduated in 2016. When did you graduate?
18.
18. So
Yeah.
a couple years ahead of you, and then. When on my mission, I got assigned to serve in the England, London, South mission.
Oh, really?
Speaking Chinese, so
Speaking Chinese?
yeah.
There are a lot of Chinese people there?
So I served in a lot of the university towns in England. So my mission went all the way west out to Cornwall, so the southwest part of England. I served actually the most northern part of my mission was Oxford, and so I served there for 9 months, and there were a lot of Chinese students there. Served in a lot of the southern coast university towns like Bournemouth, Brighton, some places with some Premier League teams. So it was cool.
Oh, yeah?
It was cool.
Are you
Cool
a soccer
experience.
fan?
Honestly, I should have became more of a soccer fan. I don't know. I played soccer a lot more on my mission, and I feel like I actually got decent at it.
Yeah?
We'd play, in some of my wards, we'd play on Saturday mornings for a couple hours every week, and
That's
play
dope.
with these old guys, these old British guys, and just run the pitch. Yeah, it was fun. It was some of the funnest times of my mission.
That's actually awesome.
And we'd play a lot of basketball too. And Chinese people love basketball, love soccer, so we'd bring them out to those activities and whatnot. So that was a good way to, introduce them into the church in a casual way. So
That's sweet. Is there a strong church community out there? Is there very many members?
There's a decent amount. In the north of England, there's a lot bigger population of members that are more full-time rather than students coming in and out. A lot of the kids we taught, they were, our age, moving back to China in a couple of years after they finished their program or whatever. So it was harder to see the Chinese member population grow in my mission.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know up north there's branches and stuff of just Chinese members, so the Chinese work is a little bit better up there. I don't know how it is these days, but yeah, it was a fun difference, a different experience for me. I wasn't expecting that, to be assigned speaking Chinese. So
That's crazy.
it's goofy.
So when you open your call, you're reading it, and it's you're assigned to the what was it?
Yeah,
England?
England, London, South mission.
Okay,
So,
England, London, South.
yeah.
And then you kept reading, and it's
So
and you're
that's
speaking
funny.
Chinese.
Yeah, so I kind of stopped and everyone's cheering. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mission
yeah.
call opening, and then I just assumed that was it, but then I kept reading. And I was like, oh crap, there's something else. So I read that again and kind of got probably if anything a bigger response. People were like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
I don't know. It was cool. It was definitely an important experience for me.
So when you're teaching, you're speaking Chinese, but throughout the rest of your day, you're just speaking English, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only times we'd speak Chinese is if we run into somebody on the street. It's not like you're knocking doors finding Chinese people.
Right.
I'd say maybe my whole mission I knocked maybe 2 families, you know, where they were actually Chinese and I could use my Chinese at the door. So a lot of the Chinese work was just like meeting dudes on the street, meeting people. You know, it was funny. Just every single time you ask them where they're from, they're, I'm from China. Oh, 你会说中文吗? And they have the same reaction every time.
It's like, what the heck?
Why is this white guy speaking Chinese, you know?
Bro, that's funny.
Yeah, so it's funny, and you'll still get that reaction if I run into a Chinese person.
You still got it? You still fluent?
I mean, I honestly never really got to the level I think I should have gotten, but that's probably due to the lack of, you know, Chinese people I spoke to.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like I got decent amount of learning just like speaking to myself, because sometimes I was in areas where I'd have an English-speaking companion, so he wasn't learning the language with me. Yeah. I wasn't running into a lot of Chinese people, so I just like talked to myself in the shower. Like that was literally how I learned.
That's crazy.
Yeah, watch YouTube videos, watch like other foreigners learning. That's like the main way I learned Chinese.
Really? So I would imagine it was tough because you weren't like normally when you go to another country and you have another language, like you're just immersed and you have no option but to learn that language, right? And so it's like you learn a little quicker because you have no choice. But especially a language like Chinese where it's already hard, like isn't that one of the hardest languages for like
there's
English
just
speakers?
There's a lot of aspects to Chinese, and you know, if you're in Taiwan, you got to read signs all day to learn where you're going or to, you know, stay on track. Right. In England, you're not going to read those signs. So like, especially in that aspect of Chinese, like writing and reading, I didn't excel a lot. Yeah. Because, you know, it's hard when there's not a lot of immersion in it. So. Right. But I feel like I took a class actually at BYU when I got home to read and write, and it helped me a little bit, but I learned quickly that I was too far behind. So, but yeah, it was a good time. I was definitely glad to learn Chinese.
That's dope. Yeah, that's super cool. And then so you got home in 2018?
Yeah, got home in 2018. Got home like I think the end of May. Yeah. And then started up summer conditioning in June, like just got thrown right into it, and yeah, my body wasn't really ready. No. You know, I got hurt actually. I hurt my shoulder the first couple weeks of fall camp that year. Oh, really? Yeah, so I tore my labrum back then, and you know, I've kind of been battling and recovering since then, and then that's why I got surgery in December. I got surgery on my shoulder, but it's gotten a lot worse over the years. So really, but yeah, my body definitely wasn't accustomed to playing college football at that point, though.
So the surgery you had in December, was that just to like, hey, let's make like, rather than have to keep fighting through this, let's like fix this thing?
Yeah, it kind of got to the point where it was torn enough where it was either, you know, don't fix it and the strength's never going to come back, or I have to get it fixed if I want to be 100%. So it kind of got to that point where I was like, yeah, I need to get it, or I'm not going to be playing the way I need to be playing. So.
Especially going into your last season, then you know, the NFL, it's like you need to get right now.
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted to play in the NFL, there was no way they were going to take somebody with a bum shoulder torn up in all these places. So I had to get that sorted out. So
well, good. So was BYU your, like, how many offers did you have coming out of high school?
I would say most of my offers were just like Pac-12 schools. You know, Utah was like the main other program I was really looking into. Justin and our coach at BYU right now was my main recruiter, so I always had a good relationship with him. And so, you know, I was always a BYU fan growing up, so I was always set on going to BYU, but Utah definitely made it harder when it came to deciding on signing day. You know, they were persuasive, and I definitely saw myself fitting in there, but when it came down to it, you know, it was always my dream to play at BYU. I'd always been talking about it since I was, you know, in elementary school, so I just figured I had to go with my dream and go with my gut. So
that's dope. Yeah, I didn't know. So Anna was at Utah at the time.
Yeah, so when he recruited me hard to Utah. He was the linebacker coach there. Yeah, he stayed in touch with my family on the mission. Gave my brother tickets sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he definitely, you know, he was invested in me, and you know, it made it hard to, you know, say no to Utah, but at the same time, yeah, like I said, it was always my dream, and it works out now, and I'll get to play for him anyway. So
dude, he's awesome too. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. He keeps it real.
Because after he was at Utah, you went to Utah State, and that's where I was actually playing safety when I got there, and they moved me down to linebacker. Oh, he was a linebackers coach. He's like, dude, I just like the way you move. I'm like, bro, I'm not a linebacker. Get me out of here. Yeah. But
so you got to get coached by him too. Okay.
Yeah. So when I saw he was coming to BYU, I was hyped because I'm like, dude, that's my guy. So
yeah. How was he at Utah State?
Dude, he was hilarious. He's the same. He hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Tell me a little about your family. You mentioned you have a little brother. What else?
Yeah, I have 2 younger brothers. So one just graduated from high school last year. He's down at UVU, and then I have another little brother. He graduated from some university up in northern Utah, and so he's just working and living at home. And then I got 2 older siblings as well. My oldest sister, she lives in Texas. She's got a couple kids, little niece and nephew for me to hang out with.
There you go.
And then I got another brother who's married and has a nephew. They live in Bountiful, so we get to see them quite a bit. But yeah.
So you're the middle
child.
Middle of 5? Hey, middle child, the problem child, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's what they say, huh?
That's awesome. I love it. Are you close? Who are you closest to in your family?
Honestly, my siblings are all really close. Like
Yeah.
I'd say, obviously having my brother closer in Utah, it helps, and we've always been close growing up. He was a couple years older than me, so we were always just best friends growing up.
Yeah.
So obviously my relationship with him has always been strong. But yeah, I'd say me and my siblings have always been really close. You know, we've always bonded, and yeah.
Do they come to all the games?
They try, but you know, with the tickets and whatnot, the ticket distribution is not the best. So I mean, my parents come out to every game for sure, but you know, it's kind of hard. You kind of have to cycle them through if they want to come. Or
Four tickets, right?
4 tickets, and then you gotta find the other one. So it's a grind for sure. Hopefully they figure it out this year and we can get more. But yeah, my brother, he'll buy tickets every once in a while because he likes coming out to the game. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
That's super cool. And then you just recently got engaged. What was that, last week?
Yep.
That's big time.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
So yeah, I just got engaged to my girlfriend. We've been dating for about 2 years. I guess she's now my fiance. So.
Your fiance.
Yeah,
there you go.
Her name's Jessica. She's from Heber. We've been dating for a while, hanging out. So it's about that time I needed to ask the question. You know, make things a little bit more official. So we'll be getting married in the middle of July. So
well, that's sweet.
We're excited.
How'd you meet her?
So, I mean, I don't know, just like college activities, you know. I think it was like a Halloween party where we first met. There was a big Halloween party at the mall in South Provo, and we just hung out with some friends afterwards. And I don't know, I think she had a boyfriend or something, but I was kind of flirting it up with her, you know. had to, you know, shoot my shot. But yeah, a couple months later, we started hanging out, and you know, we've been hanging out ever since. So,
there you go. That's awesome. Did she go to BYU?
She graduated from UVU, and so now she works at a tech startup, a crypto company. So yeah, she's just making the money for me right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's hilarious. So you started BYU in 2018. What's been like the highlight? Like, what's your favorite part about being at BYU? Because you said it was always your dream.
Yeah. Honestly, you know, I really wanted to just put on the jersey and play on the field, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's always been my dream, is come and play at BYU. But yeah, I feel like the first like really moment for me where I realized I was living my dream was just like my second year, my freshman year. We were playing USC, played in Keaton Slovis.
Yeah.
And, you know, stuff happened, and I was able to get a lot more opportunities than I had been getting that year. And, you know, that was kind of the first time I experienced the power of Lavelle Edwards Stadium and all those fans, you know, winning an overtime game against a ranked opponent, having the fans rush the field. Like, I think that's when it really clicked together. Like, dang, this really is, like, what I've been dreaming about, like, making an impact on the field and, like, winning and having these fans support us. Like, I don't know. When that happened, and then obviously over the years we've had many experiences like that, and you know, it's all just helped me realize that this is what my dream has been. So
has it lived up to what you thought it would be?
I'd say for sure. You know, it's like anything in life, there's gonna be, you know, ups and downs. You know, there's injuries, there's stuff that will put you back, but I feel like, you know, right now looking back on things, I feel like I'm where I want to be, and you know, it's been everything I've needed up to this point.
So what are you most looking forward to going into this season?
Shoot, I'm just looking forward to, you know, running an aggressive defense, making some plays, you know. I don't know, that's what I've always looked forward to every season, but I just feel like this year is like culmination of everything for me personally. You know, I've had like I said, I had my up and downs, and I feel like I'm finally, you know, figuring things out, and I feel like it's just like should be a great year for me, you know. If everything aligns properly, I'm excited to go out the Big 12 with the boys.
Yeah.
And, get some dubs. Let's go.
There you go. Are you You excited to play for Jay Hill? Like, what's been your thoughts on that? Because obviously I wasn't here with the last staff. So like,
Yeah.
what's the transition been like for you, and what are some things you're excited about with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just having Jay Hill come in, I know his son-in-law pretty well. His daughter married my best friend growing up.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, so I've kind of known his daughter for a while at BYU, and so
Okay.
I haven't like known Jay too personally, but I've had that kind of connection. So I've watched Weber State. They've been a solid team. They're a solid
Right.
FCS team, and his defense speaks for itself. They're always leading. So I feel like, having him come in with his aggressive style, I feel like it's just everything we need right now. No,
For sure.
no shade to our last coaches. I feel like they put us in positions to make plays. I had a great time learning through them. But yeah, going forward, I'm excited.
That's sweet. So I was doing a bunch of research, or not a bunch. I was going through your Instagram before you came over and all this stuff. It's usually what I do. I didn't realize you threw Jav.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Was that part of the deal coming here, or like?
Actually, my sophomore year of high school, I was like, I don't know. I didn't play varsity in football or anything. Like, I really had kind of like given up on the idea that I was going to make it in college football at that point. So I started doing track my sophomore year, and they kind of had me running like the 400 and doing like random things I really wasn't loving.
The 400 sucks.
Yeah. And then like halfway through the season, they're like, hey, you want to try like throwing javelin and shot put? And I was like, yeah, if I don't have to like run and like just got to go to practice and throw a spear and like throw a rock all day, like that sounds like fun to me. And so, I mean, I actually ended up doing pretty good my sophomore year. And I think I placed like third in state my sophomore year with like a crazy throw in the finals or something. And like was fine. I was actually getting, attention from some colleges. Like I got offered kind of by Navy to go throw up there, and some schools in California wanted me to throw. So at that point, I was thinking like, man, maybe track is my future. I wasn't that invested in football, but yeah, my junior year came around, and I don't know, like I still wasn't even playing as much as I feel like I should have. Like I was getting like 5 reps a game.
Really?
Yeah, like my junior year, the first couple games of the season, like I was third string safety. They moved me from DN to safety that year. So it was just like, I don't know. It was a rough like start of the season, and honestly I was like, dude, like I might just be down to invest everything into track at this point. But
Oh, wow.
actually in one game, the 2 safeties ahead of me, they got hurt. They both got concussions. So I like kind of was forced to go in.
Yeah.
I did pretty good, and then the next game was like one of my like best games of my career. I had like a pick 6, had like they let me run the ball a lot. I had like a couple touchdowns. Like I don't know. It was just, and then ever since that game, like they kind of they'd never looked back from me, and I kind of was able to, play free and make plays, and obviously that led to being recruited by BYU and then recruited by some of these other schools. So yeah, track has always been a big part of my life. Like I did it my junior and senior year in high school. I never won because the kids ahead of me are throwing at BYU now are like the school record holders.
Oh,
and stuff.
really?
Yeah. So it was a decent second and third place finish. I have no shame in it. But
That's funny.
But yeah, going back. Sorry, that was a long
No,
sidetrack.
perfect.
But yeah, then a couple years into college, I think when I threw was 2020 year, the COVID year, or maybe the next year, 2021. Yeah, it must have been 2021. I don't know. I get my years confused. But yeah, I just kind of I didn't even reach out to the track coaches. I just signed up for a meet because I learned that you could just like go to a meet unattached. So there was a meet at BYU, and I had another friend, Drew Jensen, who threw javelin in high school. And we're like,
he went to Brighton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both were like, I don't know, should we just like show up to this meet and throw the javelin? And we hadn't done it in 5 years, since our senior, or Drew didn't even throw his senior, so it'd been a while for him. And so we just like showed up in like a black tank top, black shorts, like just unattached at a meet at BYU. And I never actually landed a throw in bounds, but I threw it like farther than I'd ever thrown before. Like I don't really know how, but like I PR'd, but yeah, it was out of bounds. But it was like it was just weird. And then later that week, the coach hit me up and he's like, "Hey, like, you want to come practice? Like, we can have like a couple-day tryout, see if you can, see if you're throwing all right." And so I went to practice for a couple days, got the form kind of back into it and started doing decent, and then ended up, making it to regionals that year, like the Western regionals. So it was fun. Got to go out to Texas for a week.
That's dope.
That was the only year I did it, but yeah, it was fun. My shoulder, couldn't really hold up after that. I couldn't have done it last year, but yeah, it was a good experience for sure.
That's so funny because I had no idea about that, and then I'm looking through and I'm like, what the heck? This dude's throwing jab. I'm like, oh, it must have been from high school. I'm like, you're in a BYU stuff. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's way funny. So, and you did say that you didn't really get any offers till, or when did you get your offers? After your junior year?
After my junior year, I started getting offers. So I mean, yeah, like I said, I only played like the last like 9 or so games of that season, and I had 4 or 5 pick sixes that year and a blocked field goal I took back for a touchdown. So I feel like I just had like some good plays.
Yeah.
And got noticed from that, and yeah, got recruited after my junior year, committed to BYU before our first game my senior year, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, it was after going to a Boise State game. Boise State, did you watch that game? I think it was in 2015. Boise State, I don't know. It was like some Hail Marys and stuff, but it was one of those experiences where I'm like, yeah, I can't deny, the power of Lavelle. And after that game, I was like, I got to commit here for sure.
I actually might have gone to that game. I went to a Boise State BYU game. I don't know which one it was.
It was the one at home. Kai Nakua had a couple picks, like the game sealing pick 6 or something. I don't know. It was a crazy game to go to, and I just had to commit after that for sure.
Dude, that's dope. And it's crazy to me that you were almost like, I'm not even gonna play football. You're like, I'm just gonna do track.
Yeah, it was a legit thought in my head. Like I remember actually the same game that those 2 kids got hurt. I was sitting on the sideline like, bro, like I don't want to sit on the bench, bro. Like let me play JV at least. Like I don't know. Yeah. Like this was boring just sitting on the bench. But yeah,
dude, what helped you, or maybe it just happened? But like, did you have a mindset that helped you take advantage of that opportunity when you were put in? You're like, okay, it's like my time, or was it just like you were just doing your thing?
Yeah, I feel like, if they trusted me to move positions and they wanted me to, and I knew I was a good enough athlete to go out and make some plays, so I just felt like, if I was going to get my opportunity, I was going to make the most of it. And, yeah, like you're saying, like, I just feel like I had that confidence that whatever stage in the game, they were going to throw me in. And that's kind of how it's been in college, It's always like that. If you're the second man up, third man up, you never know when you're going to get in. So I feel like being ready for that time at a moment really helped me.
And you, so one thing about you is you're like a big play guy. Like you're always making big plays. Is it, because like they're like, it sounds weird, but there's those dudes who make big plays all the time. And then other people who are like reliable, they're going to do their job, but they aren't really doing anything crazy. What do you feel like helps you always be in the mix?
Geez, I feel like just something I've always just focused on, and it's a basics of football, but just running to the ball, Like if you're hustling to the ball, I'm a strong believer that if you're hustling to the ball every play, like you're going to have some random plays that are going to come your way.
Right.
Like, I don't know, a lot of my plays, even at BYU, my interceptions and stuff, I wasn't necessarily the guy initiating like the play, but like I was just there because I was running to the ball and, maybe it got tipped or something, and I was there to scoop it up. I feel like I've just learned, like, if you're just hustling every play, especially in game, if you're not trying to make a play every step, every time you're on the field, like I just feel like you're never gonna make those big plays when you need to,
Right, because you're all over the place.
You got to do it. You know? I don't know. Maybe it's just like the way I am, but yeah, I just feel like you got to hustle the ball. I'm trying to hit somebody every play. If the play's going away from me, I'm like slowly sneaking through. And if he's coming back to me, I'm gonna boom him. I don't know. I just feel like that's always been my kind of mentality and mindset when it's come to playing football. So.
Dude, I love that. And I was just going to ask you that. Is there like something you like, do you have things you're doing pre-game to like get into that mindset or get into that mode? Or is it just you? Is that just inside you? You got that dog?
Like I never had like a ritual or anything. Like I used to listen to like Lumineers and stuff, like chill music to like get me ready for games. But like, I don't know. I just feel like when it comes down to it, like before the kickoff, if you're not getting your mind right, hitting yourself, or getting ready to go, then like you're not gonna be making plays, and that's just so. I just you just got to train yourself to get ready.
Dude, I love that. What's been your favorite game you've played in?
Shoot, there's been a lot. Honestly, I feel like a part of, like, atmosphere wise, you can't really beat my first, two big Power 5 wins, which I mentioned earlier, USC, that overtime win. That one definitely strikes home because I played a lot and, I was making plays. And I just feel like that was, like I said, that was the first time I felt like that level experience. But then Tennessee, the week before that, was actually crazy too. I didn't play as much, but, if you watch that game, there's no way we should have won that game. Like, that was a pure miracle. And
that was at Tennessee.
At Tennessee. Right? So, there was so many BYU fans there. I think those two games out of my, my first couple of years, those are definitely the most memorable. But then last year, I don't know. I feel like the Baylor game for sure was one of my favorites last year. It was similar to that USC game, where the crowd rushed the field.
Yeah. Just
good ending, good overtime win against a ranked team that we lost to the year before, and I felt like I was playing pretty good. It was a good feeling after that. But I don't know. There's just so many, there's so many good experiences and good memories, good games that I feel like I've been a part of, and especially the 5 years. It's hard to keep track. That
was a good 5 years too.
Yeah, there were some good wins over the years. I don't know, some other favorites. What other favorites do I have? I liked the bowl game in 2020. I had a fun tackle on a punt play that will always just like. That's what it to me, like, that's the pinnacle of playing football. Just like getting a good form tackle.
Yeah.
Just something that feels good.
When you don't even feel it, but they did.
Yeah, they felt it. Just like, I don't know. There's some games like that where I had some plays that.
Was that UCF?
Yeah, UCF.
Okay, yeah. I seen that play. You smoked that dude.
And a little punt gunner.
Yeah, there you go.
Linebacker playing punt gunner. I wish they'd let me do that this year, honestly.
That's a dangerous combo. You got a linebacker that can run down his gunner. That's funny. So after the Baylor game, you got that shout out from RG3, right? Was that the game?
Yeah, it was the game. He was reporting that game.
Right, I remember watching that.
He had some funny comments in the commentary for sure.
Yeah. But was it kind of cool though to because he said something about like great game, Max, like NFL awaits it or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Did that hit home or did that mean anything to you?
It definitely, I feel like it hit home, but I think it hit home more to like people around me. You know, like I'm not really big into like reading it. Like RG3 is a pretty, a good critic to have, if he's saying that stuff. But like I'm of the opinion like only my opinion, my feeling really matters. And like,
yeah, I love that.
I know how realistic it is to get in the NFL, and I know like him sending a tweet is not guaranteeing me into the NFL.
Outside of football, what are some of your hobbies?
I've always grown up as a big outdoors guy. I feel like that's a cliche Utah thing, but my dad was always like the scoutmaster and stuff. Had horses. We'd go camping a lot growing up, fishing and whatnot.
Are you an Eagle Scout?
I am an Eagle Scout.
There you go.
Actually, that was in order to get your license in my family, you had to get your Eagle Scout first. So I got my license a little late because of it. I didn't get my license until like July after my sophomore year because I hadn't got my Eagle yet. Yeah, so
that's funny.
Yeah, it was always a big emphasis, but obviously I'm playing football. I love sports. Golf. I'm in a golf class right now. Golf is fun. I see your clubs out there. I know you're probably better than me, but I'm more of just like a long driver. I like just going to the driving range and how far I can hit it.
That's dope.
But yeah, just any sport. Pickleball is a good one these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hanging out with my girlfriend, watching TV. Like if we're being real, playing Xbox.
Do you have a favorite TV show you're watching?
We just watched, what was that called? I watched, honestly, so many shows that, like, I forget what show I watched. But it's the new one on Netflix, Agent something. It's, like, have you seen it?
I don't watch a lot of shows. I turn on the TV to fall asleep, and that's about it. Yeah.
That's good. That's how I need to be. But I usually do that for YouTube.
My problem is I can't sit there and watch something. It's like I can sit there and play video games because I'm actively doing something.
Yeah.
Like just to sit there and watch something that I'm like on my phone, that I'm like playing with stuff. Like
there are definitely shows where I'm like that, where I'm like, all right, this is not like I need to be attentive to this show, so I'll just like chill and play Candy Crush on my phone or something. You know, I don't know.
What about video games? What's your favorite video game?
I've been into I don't know. I feel like I used to play Fortnite back in the day, and then I stopped for like 2 or 3 years, and then lately I've been playing Fortnite a lot.
Yeah,
Fortnite, COD, you know, mostly the basics. I'm not like a big like sports video game guy. Yeah,
those are fun, but you can only play them so much. Like I can't just sit there and just play Madden. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a lot of kids that do that, so they're just so much better than me. So I'm like, I'm good.
It gets too technical. Not for me. I noticed on you did your day in the life with BYU the other day.
Yeah.
Were you watching Fortnite?
I was watching a little T-Food at the end of the night, you know.
That's funny.
That's what I do most nights, honestly.
You said you were watching film. Was that your film you were referring to? You were watching your Fortnite film?
I had it on the iPad.
That's funny. So you're an outdoor guy. Are you a hunter?
Dude, actually, Fisher? I've never been hunting in my life. My dad,
neither have I.
Like, my dad would always let us, but, like, being a football player is kind of hard.
Yeah, because hunting season's in the fall.
Yeah, it's like hunting season's in the fall. You can't really get a weekend off. Like,
right.
Even on a bye week, you can't just take that weekend off. So, I feel like I haven't really – my fiance's family's really into hunting up in Heber. Her little brother goes hunting, like, every day.
Oh, really?
And he's like, a junior in high school. He'll go every day. So
that's funny.
He's funny, yeah.
Do you have you gone fishing? Are you a fisher?
I'm a fish. I wouldn't say I'm a fisher. I don't have the patience to be like a fisher.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's something I could get into, you know, like fly fishing seems dope.
Yeah.
Do you fly fish?
No, I've thrown like a reel out there a couple times and brought fishing when I was up in Logan.
Have Ben or somebody take us out and show
He's
us
a big fisher, isn't he?
Yeah. Awesome. I know he went to like Alaska last year to fish for like a week or something.
Of course he did.
Lucky.
I didn't ask you this. Who are your roommates?
So I live with like Fisher and Jacob and those guys.
Oh, you do?
But yeah, I'm about to move out. I'm getting my own place.
And then you're getting married, so then your girl.
Yeah, exactly. So
big time stuff.
Yeah, life changes this summer for sure. A lot of them. So
you're growing up.
Yeah, so I'll move into my own place in a couple of weeks. So that'll be a nice change.
Where are you moving to?
I'm moving to this apartment complex across the street from the track stadium. Actually, like right next to Swig.
Okay,
it's it's called Freehand Apartments or something.
That's dope.
And yeah, so the guy owns it is a big BYU fan. He's excited to have me there. So
excited to have you there. What does that mean? Does that mean it's free?
No, heck no. I wish. Hey, that'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah, no.
Have you been able to benefit much from NIL stuff?
Honestly, I feel like when NIL first started, like I think everybody had the same like expectations, right? Like everyone was like, "Oh, dude, like sweet, like we're gonna get paid a lot," like. But I feel like it just hasn't been like that. And, like, I don't think fans understand that either. Like,
everyone thinks everybody's just getting a bunch of money.
Yeah, like, you see the stories, people getting $1 million, freshmen or brand new freshmen signing these $12 million deals. Just, like, ridiculous stuff. But it's, like, I don't know. Reality strikes and, like, we're not coming close to that. But this year has been a little bit better in terms of, like, I feel like NIL is just progressing each year, you know. So they're figuring out more and more things to do with it. So I think, this year's been better for sure.
That's good. So I told you I was going to ask you this. Gave you a little warning. But what's something that most people don't know about you?
Honestly, I was going to talk about javelin and throwing things because
I beat you to it.
Yeah, I mean, you did, but I feel like, physically, that's probably, like, something that, I don't know, is a little weird about me that I just, like, I'm attracted to, like, throwing things, bro. Like, I'll go to the beach or, like I was in Costa Rica last week.
Yeah.
And, like, every rock on the beach was, like, a perfect skipping stone. You know when you're just on,
you see
at
that
a lake
one,
or something like that? I'm just, like, I don't know. Like, stuff like that, like, really, like, gets me excited, bro. I just want to, like, throw rocks, and it's been hard getting shoulder surgery, not being able to throw, really.
Right.
And so, like, I don't know. I just love, like, throwing things. Like, throwing the football, like, I love just seeing how far I can throw it and stuff. Obviously, doing track and throwing the javelin and shot put. I don't know. I'd say something that probably a lot of people don't know about me, but I feel like in terms of like just my personality, like I don't know. I'll see like comments and stuff after like if I hit somebody hard or something,
Yeah.
and just like about the way I play, and people are like, I'm kind of scared of that guy. Like, I don't know if I want to like meet that guy in public, you know, like I'll see, or I'll have people send me stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like it's probably a little bit misconception that, you know, I'm a mean guy, but I feel like I'm actually like a pretty soft guy when it comes down to it. Like, I love babies. I love playing with kids. Like, if I'm going over to my parents' house, I'll like hardly talk to adults and I'll just play with my nieces and nephews, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that where like I feel like people wouldn't really perceive me that way.
That's funny.
Yeah,
they see the video of you on the sideline yelling.
Yeah, exactly.
With your hair flied all over the
place.
place.
Being a little psychopath, but and I mean, yeah, obviously I can still be like that, but I feel like I would never like run into somebody and be mean like that. Well, like some people may actually think, you know.
Right. No, I'm not gonna lie. It surprised me when I met you. I was like, hey, this dude's nice. He's like, yeah, you're like super like unthreatening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't for sure. Versus, you give off a little bit of those vibes when you're playing.
People never recognize me. They're like, I would never like, I don't know. Just with a helmet on, you look like a different person, I guess. You don't, you can't really tell what your face looks like and everything, but it's just so funny, like talking to people and then like halfway through the conversation, tell them who I am. They're like, what the heck? Like, I just did not think you'd be the way you are. I don't know. It's just stuff like that. It's just, I feel like it's a little bit of a misconception.
That's cool. Well, maybe, hopefully people can see this podcast, see a couple clips and be like, man, he's a good guy. He's not as scary as he looks.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Well, awesome. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on the pod. It's been super fun.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and like I said, hopefully a lot of people can get to know you a little better. That's kind of the whole goal of this. So, but yeah, appreciate you, and looking forward to seeing what you do this season, and hopefully more after that. So.
As well, I'm excited to see what you do.
Appreciate it. We're trying. Okay, sweet.